पिछले कुछ सालों में whenever films come out, there is conversation around, oh wow, this film has used this much VFX, this film has used 90% VFX, this VFX, that VFX, oh there's so much kind of technological advancement in VFX. And then Christopher Nolan comes out and he says that he made Oppenheimer, a film about the father of the atomic bomb, and he used zero to no VFX. I'm sure कि बिल्कुल VFX यूज़ नहीं किया होगा, ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता. I'm sure there is some VFX involved in post-production, but still the technological feat in itself is so impressive. Hi, I am Pratiksha and you're listening to my review of Oppenheimer. कुछ फिल्में ऐसी होती है जो आप बोलोगे कि oh, this is the best film I've ever watched. In Oppenheimer, it's almost like saying that this is the best film that I have ever felt. The sound design in itself is so exquisite. इतना अच्छा sound design है इस film का कि you actually feel every shockwave that they want you to feel. Oppenheimer is about, obviously, Robert J. Oppenheimer, who is known for two main things. One, that he's the father of the atomic bomb, he invented it, and second, that he absolutely regretted it. ये जो moral dilemma है, ethical dilemma है इस main character का, is majorly what the film is focused on. Cillian Murphy plays Robert J. Oppenheimer in this film across a lot of age-specific moments in Oppenheimer's life. And in short, he is killing it. I'm so sorry. But the point is that the actor is so magnificent in this role. कुछ actors ऐसे होते हैं ना जिनकी आंखें acting करती हैं. That is what Cillian is doing. Those scenes ले लो. First is when he's a young student and he's essentially kind of not taken very seriously by his teachers or his peers. उस time पे he feels very low and kind of just sad. And in that time, you can still see कि in his eyes एक kind of jazba hai, there's kind of fervor कि उनको कुछ करना है ज़िंदगी में. He knows that he wants to advance quantum physics, that's exactly what he wants to do. But later in the film, when there's another moment where he's sad and he's upset and he's almost, his shoulders are slumped, in that moment you see, even in his eyes, there is barely anything but a guilty conscience left, even though he has done so much. In this film, सबसे ज़्यादा बात तो हो रही थी उस चीज़ की जो हमारे atomic explosion का जो trial था, which everyone's been talking about. Regrettably, I don't think that's the best part of the film. It's very well done, don't get me wrong. It's amazingly done. It's just, okay, Nolan has made the decision कि जो Hiroshima और Nagasaki का incident था, he didn't really show that much. But a lot of terror that comes from the idea of an atomic bomb is related to human tragedy that it causes. And since ये हमें film में ज़्यादा देखने को नहीं मिलता है, what's more terrifying is seeing how Oppenheimer reacts to it. Oppenheimer की आँखों में when he sees this tragedy happening, when he sees essentially just the test happening, उनको एक वो realization होता है कि he has handed humanity a weapon that can destroy humanity. और ऐसी एक realization से the moral weight that comes on a person is very, very large, and both Nolan and Cillian Murphy have come together to show that brilliantly. Film में majorly जो है, we kind of see it through two government hearings that are happening. One of them is of Cillian Murphy's character, Oppenheimer, trying to prove his loyalty to the country. Other times in the film, we see a man who is driven by vision. He's so self-confident. उनको पता है कि वो कुछ बहुत बड़ा करने वाले हैं. In his mind, he's going to end a war, right? He's driven by anti-fascism. He is driven by very justifiable hatred for Hitler's anti-Semitism. तो उनके लिए all of this is a solution to stop the war. But at the end of the day, what happens is that humanity ends up with a very, very destructible weapon. Nolan does what Nolan does best. There is मतलब सांस लेने का time नहीं है film में. Constantly things are happening. This film plays out more like a thriller. Even though you know what's going to happen, ऐसा this is all history. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है जो आपको पता नहीं होगा कि oh this is how did this happen this way. But it's still so gripping as a film. And that majorly also goes to the editing that's done by Jennifer Lemay. It's stunning. A lot of Nolan's films, उसमें सबसे best part sometimes is the editing. And in this film too, that is very, very true. A lot of people have said this is Nolan's best. I would absolutely agree. This is one of Nolan's best films. The second hearing that is going on is basically of the former Atomic Energy Commission chair, Lewis Strauss, played by Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. इस film में he's almost unrecognizable. I had to look at him twice to realize that's who he is. And this actor, of course, he's a great actor, right? He's a very good actor. But it seems like जितनी मेहनत उन्होंने इस film में की है ना, it genuinely, I don't think I've seen it before. He's so good. He's supposed to seem like this guy who is hiding something, but is also fighting an entire like committee that's trying to vilify him. And that comes across brilliantly. There is not 1 second where you feel like, oh, he's gone out of character. It's so well done. And the fact that we kind of see these scenes one after the other, like Cillian Murphy's character and Robert Downey Jr.'s character, both are giving their testimonies. We see them ऐसे clash करते हुए एक-एक करके. It can get a little repetitive. That's a bit of a problem, but the acting is just not one slip in this entire moment. There are two other actors जिन्होंने बहुत ही अच्छा काम किया है फिल्म में, even though they don't get that much screen time as such. There's Emily Blunt as Kitty and there is Florence Pugh as Jean. Both actresses have done an amazing job. उनके character are very different, I would say, in a sense. Kitty is more resentful, rage, and Florence Pugh's Jean is more very outright angry, and both of those characters are played so beautifully. I would have loved to see them for longer. The thing with this film is कि Hollywood, आधा Hollywood तो है ही इस film में. Oscar winners are there as cameo roles, and that is just, it's just Nolan. It just feels like Nolan. Emily Blunt at one point is just a background actor, even though you know that's Emily Blunt. It's just, that's what it is. It's an Oppenheimer film. Even the atomic bomb does not overshadow Oppenheimer in this movie, and that is genuinely just great script writing. It's everything about this. Her technical aspect is film ka is so good. The thing about the explosions is even the minute ones that we see, जो ऐसे Oppenheimer का बिल्कुल Queen's Gambit moment चल रहा है, where he's seeing these things happen inside his mind, are so well done कि along with awe, along with this amazement, आपको जो feel होता है कि wow, this is something that has actually been on screen, you still feel a healthy amount of fear. It's terrifying to know that a tiny thing can cause this much destruction, and to watch that on screen and also genuinely feel it inside your chest is a lot. There's also Matt Damon in the film as Lieutenant General Groves, who essentially is the military in charge of the Manhattan Project, and he's the first one who sees Oppenheimer and says कि ये बंदा lead करेगा ये. He's also great in this role. It's Matt Damon. I love the kind of the anti-hero sentiment that he has in his roles is still going on here, and he does it brilliantly. तो क्या तकलीफ है? We also see Tom Conti in one of my favorite roles in this film as a very kind of detached Albert Einstein out of nowhere. Also, some of my favorite scenes are the ones between Cillian Murphy and Tom Conti, so essentially between Oppenheimer and Albert Einstein. Just so well crafted. It's just so well done. And of course, so much credit goes to the camera person, Hoyt van Hoytema, who's earlier also, I think, worked with Nolan, and just every frame is beautiful. Also, knowing that a lot of this is not VFX, so the camera has done a lot of work in this film, so huge credits to them. Oppenheimer एक ऐसी फिल्म का एग्जाम्पल है जहां अगर सारे टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट्स साथ में आके इन टैंडम काम करते हैं तो क्या ब्रिलियंट फिल्म मेकिंग हो सकती है. And honestly, go watch it in IMAX if you can, because it's practically created for that. The experience in IMAX will just be very different, I assume. So that is why, because of all of this and just the feeling of watching this film, my rating for Oppenheimer is 4.5 stars out of 5.